Hello and welcome back to Niche Radio on Fab Radio International with your favourite hosts Owen and
Conrad Taylor.
Today we'll be talking all kinds of things, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, all kinds of geekery, Batman and very, very much more. All the new comic and merchandise rundown coming up in a second. Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Niche Radio, the only geekiest show which teaches you everything you need to know about geek scene as it happens. Today we have had loads and loads and loads of news. There have been loads and loads of new releases as well in Forbidden Planet Manchester. So if you'd like to learn more, keep your tuned to the stuff, right?
Keep tuned to the stuff.
Keep tuned to the stuff. We'll start off with our classic and ever-loving Forbidden Planet What's New section, which goes a little something like this.
What's new? What's new? What's new in Forbidden Planet?
So that jingle does beg the question, what is new in Forbidden Planet Manchester? Well, let me give you the rundown, because there's been absolutely tons today. Tons and tons and tons. Like more comics than you could shake several sticks at. More graphic novels and manga than you could shake an infinity gauntlet at. There's tons, absolutely tons. So we're going to run through some of it, and maybe we're going to discuss the implications for the wider geek culture of these releases. Perhaps. Stay tuned. Later on in the show, we're going to be talking about manga in a big way. So please allow me to start with the new manga releases for this week. So on our shelves, as of this very second, we have 12 Beast, Volume 1. Ejin, Volume 5, The Demi-Human. Citrus, Volume 2, which from the cover looked very interesting and also very innocent. But after a quick flick through, I found out that it's something to do with a lesbian three-way towards the end, which it didn't look sexualised at all on the front, which is unlike manga. It's very interesting. Claylord, Volume 1. Emma, Volume 1, which is a beautiful hardback manga edition, and it is a version of Dickens' Emma. The story. Nice. Yeah, there have been tons of those adaptations at the moment. We've also got a completely new restock of all of the Shakespeare mangas. So if anybody's feeling a little bit high culture, we've got both Dickens and Shakespeare. We've also got Great Expectations in manga form. Tons of them. Yeah, highbrow mangas.
Highbrow mangas, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. A mixture of high culture and pop culture. Yeah, the only people that have asked for them so far, though, have been parents that are concerned that their children are reading too much manga rather than studying for their, I presume, English exams.
I think it's a good thing. I think Pride, Prejudice and Zombies and all of that.
Yeah.
That small time period when all of those came back into fashion. Well, into fashion.
Yeah,
did wonders for the original novels.
Yeah, it probably did.
Probably a really good tool for English teachers to use.
Yeah, so, I think so. Yeah, if it's
full power to them, fair play.
Yeah, for example, when we were at school and we were studying Romeo and Juliet, we got shown like the super old school film,
the Baz Luhrmann
and the Baz Luhrmann remake,
which is amazing.
Which I don't like.
Baz Luhrmann is
great.
Better at Shakespeare than Joss Whedon.
Discuss. No, don't discuss, because that's just completely ridiculous. Anyway, back to facts. Back to things we can know. Manga. We've also got Evergreen, Volume 1 on the shelves. Trinity 7, Volume 1. Pokemon Arceus, The Jewel of Life. Magical Girl Apocalypse 3. No? Nothing, Connell? I thought you'd be like, Magical Girl Apocalypse?
Magical Girl Apocalypse.
That sounds like your kind of manga, right?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine, I've not read it myself, but I imagine it involves a magical girl who is either in the middle of an apocalypse or somehow inadvertently creates an apocalypse. Or maybe on purpose.
I hope it's on purpose.
Yeah, full power to her. About time we had an apocalypse, right? Usagi Yojimbo Saga, the Omnibus 3 by Stan Sakai, is also now in stock, and it's amazing. Usagi Yojimbo, if you didn't know, lots of tales of ancient Japan, lots of samurai era stuff, but the protagonist is a rabbit, which we can all enjoy. And merch, we've had Marvel Age of Ultron mugs, wallets and bags, and some of these are lenticular as well, so they're bags that, depending which way you look at them, they look different, like they're making different poses. So if you go this way, then yeah, you get the idea. Also, a beautiful Funko Pop. Now, we mention these pretty much every show. Funko Pops are the beautiful little stylized bobbleheads, essentially. Big heads, little bodies. And this one is Smaug from The Hobbit. And it's a very, very special UK exclusive golden Smaug. He's gold all the way over and he looks super pretty. And he is now in stock. We only have 12 in, so they're limited. So please hurry down first thing tomorrow and pick yours up. We've also had a beautiful Harley Quinn statue, which is the DC Collectibles original design Harley Quinn, with her in a kind of Bruce Timm Dini kind of era. And she looks lovely. I think it's the nicest Harley Quinn figure we've had for a while. Just saying.
Is that in your display cabinet right now?
It is, yeah. Brand
I saw
new.
that today. It was
Did you notice
nice.
it? Yeah.
I also saw in there a Captain Tight Pants
Yeah.
statue.
The
£109, which is a bargain. It's pretty big. It's probably from my ankle to my knee.
Yeah, it's a very, very big statue of Mal Reynolds in full Browncoat's pose with the Browncoat's flag, as if he's about to stick it up somewhere. And yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I do want one a lot.
I was surprised it was
I think it's £209, to be honest.
Is it? Did I read that wrong?
I think
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
because it surprised me because it is that good.
Yeah, if it was £109, we'd already have it at our house.
Fair point.
But yeah, it is an absolutely beautiful statue. I want one, if not 5. And so does Teflon, who works at the store. The two of us might pitch in together, and then take custody of it different days. What do you reckon, Teflon? Please, if you'd like to tweet into the show, then do, and it'll be nice, and we'll chat to you. So, what else has been coming in new to Forbidden Planet? It really is quite an ordeal keeping on top of all this, because geek culture has exploded since some of the big Marvel films, DC films, and the TV shows now as well that Netflix are championing as one. And then also on top of that, gaming culture is just boom after boom after boom. In fact, we'll be talking a little bit more later on about Fallout 4 and very, very new news that only happened today. New news. Yeah, coming up next.
Any new news?
We've only got old news here, man.
Tuesday happened. That's not new enough.
No, there's a Tuesday every week. Who cares? So what else is new news? Well, the graphic novels. There has been a Batman Noir by Frank Miller hardback exclusive edition. Also Star Wars, the original Marvel Years Omnibus, number 2. Jim Starlin's Infinity Relativity. Captain Midnight, Lost Time, Volume 5, Green Arrow, Volume 3, Trial of Oliver Queen, and Venom, the Rick Remender classic series, all bound into a beautiful paperback. There are tons of more new graphic novels out. Those are only the ones that caught my eye today. But then, there are an oodle of comics, a plethora, if you will. We have Batman Beyond number 1, Batmite number 1, Bizarro issue 1, Lobo issue 7, Midnighter issue 1, Armor Wars issue 1, Autumn Lands, Tooth and Claw issue 6, which is one of my favourites at the moment. It has been absolutely beautifully illustrated, and it is a lovely story as well. Lots and lots of gore. Also, Baltimore Cult of the Red King issue 2 is out on Dark Horse. Doctor Who issue 8 of the Capaldi series is now on the shelves. Groot issue 1. Groot all on his own, not even with Rocket Raccoon or nothing. And there's also a brilliant variant of this Groot comic, which was Spider-Gwen. Recently it's been very popular. It's Gwen Stacy, who in the kind of standard run of Amazing Spider-Man was meant to have died, but then there's a version from an alternate universe where she is Spider-Man, so she's Spider-Gwen. So it's a Spider-Gwen variant of Groot, making it Gwoot. Because they mix Gwen and Groot, and I'm not doing it justice. It's a very cute cover, and it's kind of got a female version of Groot, which is kind of hot, really. I mean, Groot, but Lady Groot with curves.
I would.
Yeah, total would. Jupiter's Circle, issue 3 is on shelves. I don't know why I gave kind of knowing look then. Jupiter's Circle, you know what I'm saying?
That's my favourite.
Oh, baby. Jupiter Circular is another one I've been reading actually, and it's been incredible. That's creative team of Mark Miller and a new artist who I forget the name of. Battle World, Master of Kung Fu 2 from Marvel. Marvel are just chucking out loads of titles at the moment, all tying into Battle World and Secret Wars. So there's tons of titles that tie into classic stories throughout Marvel history, and there'll be a few more of those in this next sentence. Secret Wars issue 3, Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, Renew Your Vows, which is one of the tie-ins to Secret Wars, which is meant to be where Peter Parker fixes the marriage that he erased from all space, time and memory with Mary Jane.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. So that's meant to be coming out from left field and just putting things back to the status quo, essentially, of the Amazing Spider-Man stuff, because all that all those storylines before, where to save his Aunt May he erased that marriage and that happiness from existence, was a really, really touching comic book series that totally teared me up the first time I read it. Totally, not ashamed to admit it, I was a blubbering heap.
It's heavy hitting.
Yeah, too right. I mean, Spider-Man and Mary Jane, that's a pretty iconic pairing. That's, anyway, so that was very sad. So Renew Your Vows, hopefully, might be very happy. So I still might cry, I don't know. Star Wars issue 6 is on shelves now. Also, Star Wars Darth Vader issue 6 and Star Wars Princess Leia issue 4. Squirrel Girl, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl, issue 6 is now on shelves, and in this issue she gets to choose 2 friends.
Is she actually called the unbeatable Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, because she's unbeaten so far.
This is cool. I don't think she gets enough credit. Yeah,
she should totally be one of the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Marvel Universe, she is kind of, at the moment, a joke character. I've no idea why. Maybe it's her affiliation to squirrels. Who can tell?
Maybe.
Also, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue 4. Transformers / G.I. Joe, issue 7, greatest crossover ever. The Wicked and the Divine, issue 11, which has been a very, very popular Image title, which I haven't read as yet, but I know it has something to do with gods, goddesses, and deities in general. And it's all going tits up, because this is the first. Each of them have had a different face of a different character, god, deity, whatever, on the cover. And this is the first one that has just had a severed head. You don't even see the head, it's just a severed neck, I suppose, on the cover. So it looks like things are taking a turn for the worse in The Wicked and the Divine. Also, The Witcher 3, but this is issue 3 of The Witcher, which ties in, of course, to the current game, The Witcher 3, which is absolutely amazing. I've had a quick play on it at a friend's house and loved it, so much so that I can't afford a new next-gen console. I'm saying it, I can't afford one yet. So I bought The Witcher 2 for Xbox 360, so I can play that for a bit, get really excited about it, and then I'll play The Witcher 3, because the short amount I had to go on was absolutely amazing. And I can see now why everybody who is like more savvy than me in the gaming world, which is pretty much everybody, has been going on about it for so long.
Everyone does seem to love this game.
It is the absolute, it's the bee's knees. It's the tits nips.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's the badges nadges. I just made that one up. Can we keep that one? I'm really pleased with it.
Badges nadges.
Yeah,
I like that.
All right, sweet. Please tweet in to us on @Niche Radio if you think the badges nadges should be used more often. Also, Wolverines issue 20 and Years of Future Past issue 1, which is a play on Days of Future Past, the classic X-Men storyline, and that will also tie into Secret Wars and Battle World in general in the Marvel Universe. That is all for our What's New in Forbidden Planet.
I feel I should applaud.
That was a pretty epic one, wasn't it? That was the longest one yet.
It was, and also, if you don't mind, I'm going to add to it.
Oh, please do.
I popped in today and decided to follow up with a short, much shorter in this case, What's Old in Forbidden Planet section. Every time I go in, my first port of call is the reduced section, which is a lovely section. I always go to it because I'm poor. So I went to there first, and they've got some Doctor Who stuff in there, which was good. It was the old Doctor Who's mugs. But then again, I looked to my left.
Uh-oh.
And something caught my eye, which was amazing. They've got every member of the Axe Cop team on offer in there. So I think they're all $5.99. So,
mm-hmm.
Like every member. I have to collect them all.
Okay.
If only they were a little bit smaller, I could turn them into a chess set.
Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
That would be incredible.
I noticed you just bought a really big chessboard.
Oh, I could just do that.
My voice broke a bit then. Did you hear that? A chessboard.
Finally dropped.
Yay! I'm a real man.
They've also got Facehuggers in there.
The plush ones, yeah. I saw one of those today for $24.99.
Nah, they were reduced. They were like less than £10.
Really? What facehuggers are these?
Plastic ones.
Oh, okay, cool.
They're good. Yeah. Also, there's a life-size Sontaran going for, I think, $3.99. They're good. There's a lot of. There's still Martha Jones in there. I feel a bit sorry for Martha Jones because I think she's really, 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 really good. That was 17,000 reallys,
Okay.
and no one really likes her. There's only one really in that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's really like it. It's a bit of a shame.
She's a good character. But
Well,
she's been reduced in there for a very long time, which is personally offensive, I would imagine.
yeah, well, hopefully she doesn't know about it. Hopefully she's not tuned in just now. If you have just tuned in, Martha, you're listening to Niche Radio. Sorry, nobody wants your standee.
I've tweeted her every single day it's been in your shop.
Oh, Cuddle, you've just lowered her self-esteem so hard. Well, that is all. Or is it?
No, it's not.
Else?
They've also got the nicest scarves I have ever seen. They're all Doctor Who scarves. I don't know how much they are. How much are they? Do you know?
They're over £30. I can't remember off the top of my head.
That doesn't surprise me.
They're posh.
They look like a lovely material, and they're polka dot, but instead of polka dots, you get little TARDISes or little Daleks or little Cybermen.
Yeah, they're very, very high quality as well. Really nice material.
They look beautiful, and it's not my birthday anytime soon, but please can I have one, Owen?
Yes, for somewhere around over £30.
All right.
Sweet. Okay, so ladies and gents, thank you all very much for tuning to Niche Radio. That has been all of the new merchandise and comics that have been out today, and then some old ones that you may have missed. But yeah, you know what? We've just rattled straight into this show. We haven't actually taken a second to step back and ask you all how's it going.
How are you doing, Owen? I noticed you're very topless today.
Thanks. It's my new look. I'm trying it out. Yeah, it's well, I think it's topless. I mean, it's pretty old school, kind of classic. Yeah, I'm doing well though. I'm still quitting smoking. That's going mostly okay. I've had a few transgressions of late. Been a bit naughty, but overall it's still going strong. I've been using retail therapy to cleanse a lot of this. So I'll be talking later on our spoiler alert about all of the awesome games that I've bought, which include Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Witcher 2, and also some SNES games, Indestructible Hulk and Aladdin for SNES.
You got the Buffy game as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah, for PS1.
What was that game called?
No, PS2. Chaos Bleeds.
Chaos
Buffy the
Bleeds.
Vampires there.
It looks a bit like the the title like main menu sequence in the box set for season 3. And they've got that weird kind of CG maze to go through into
yeah, the
episodes.
graveyard.
It's so strange
It
and
is.
really like a bit too long.
Yeah.
It's nice the first time, and then I've seen this episode 17 times. I just want to watch it.
Yeah,
Stop
is that
taking
okay?
me through this damn maze.
So yeah, so hopefully the game won't be quite as tedious as that, although the graphics aren't as good. Although I did remember playing that a while back. Anyway, so that's how I am. How are you?
I'm insanely jealous.
Why?
2 days ago, John Barrowman came into Forbidden Planet,
Oh,
and
he
I
did.
wasn't there.
Oh, he did. I would say I got to meet him, but I didn't. I just got to look at him from up a ladder.
Would you say look or admire?
Both. I mean, there was some drooling as well.
As a heterosexual man, the things I would do to that man. It's John Barrowman.
He is a dreamboat. And he seems very nice and very friendly as well. Everybody says that he's very approachable, very nice with his fans.
What
and he's
did he
got a
buy?
mean voice as well. What did he buy?
I know this.
Oh,
Big Dog
Teflon
told me.
Teflon, if you're listening in, could you just get in touch via tweet, please? And in fact, if anyone wants to, we want to be all your friends. But especially Teflon, because you know the answer to this. What did John Barrowman buy from you?
Actually, I know. I forgot. The Big Dog told me this morning when I saw him.
Oh, okay.
He bought some Game of Thrones bits and bobs and asked, I believe, Teflon about Game of Thrones and about the books. And he recommended he read them. Jorman asked if they were a lot more brutal than the TV series. Teflon said yes, and he got very intrigued because apparently he likes things being brutal and bloody and violent.
Oh, that's a nice John Barrowman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I wish I
lovely.
had been there. I was at work and Owen texted me. I was jealous.
Well,
So how am I? Jealous of you.
okay. Well, you know, it's not all roses. I mean, quitting smoking is going pretty well, but I have been in the scary, scary world of dating, which, as you know, a fairly introspective nerd, is terrifying. Especially, I've just got onto Tinder, right?
I tried Grindr once.
Okay, different, but similar. So yeah, so I tried Tinder, and I'm getting mixed reviews. I'm giving mixed reviews of Tinder so far, with my experience. I hear it's a lot worse for girls, just getting all kinds of random inappropriate pictures. Right now, I'd welcome a couple of inappropriate pictures, but
you can't ask for them.
but no, only if you're on air on an international radio station. Then you can ask for them.
Fair point.
But yeah, I thought it gave me a bit of an ingenious idea for geeks, right? Because I was chatting to a beautiful young lady who came into the shop today, and she noticed my Firefly t-shirt, and I was like, oh yes, Firefly, that's very nice. And I noticed she was wearing an Ailstorm t-shirt, and I like the band Ailstorm too. So we got chatting about our mutual musical and TV interests. So surely it'd be much easier to set up a kind of Tinder-style thing where, you swipe left or right, depending on if you like their face. That's basically all you're doing. But then, if you want to look more into it, your matches will be matched up as to what TV shows they have ranked most highly or what music they have ranked most highly. So then, you might find, for example, say you're a massive Nirvana fan, and your favourite TV show is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just pluck those out of the air.
We would be matched very quickly.
We would be matched very quickly, yeah. But if you had an app that would match you with other people who are single and looking that love the same TV and music and whatever else films that you do, you could even do, if you're a board game nerd, a tabletop nerd, you could do it so other people who think Settlers of Catan's better than Lord of the Rings Risk will match up to you. I think there's money in this.
I think so. App yourself a chap.
Yeah, app yourself a chat. Excellent. Anyway, yeah, so if there's any app designers out there you go. You can have that one. Brilliant. I don't want any royalties anyway. It's fine. Anyway, here's an advert we can all enjoy.
Hello, this is Ian McElhinney here, Varys and Selmy, The Game of Thrones. Tune into Niche Radio for everything sci-fi, comics, cult television, and gaming. Welcome to the Age of Rat.
Welcome back. You're listening to Niche Radio here on Fab Radio International every Wednesday, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. If you want to listen again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Niche Radio, or follow us on Twitter at Niche Radio.
Quiz! 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 The new extended Spike.
Extra remix. Quiz.
So, Owen.
Hi.
This is the part of the show where we do a quiz. Would you like to be quizzed by the quiz master?
Ah, yes. Quizzically.
Quizzically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if anyone is listening for the first time, grab a pen or use your fingers because you're probably on your computer anyway.
Sorry, that's an innuendo I couldn't pass up. Carry on. I'm just going to chortle in the background.
I'm going to read out my 5 questions. Owen's going to respond via some form of noise to suggest whether he knows it, doesn't know it, or might have like a clue, or doesn't care. Then we're going to play the quiz theme 3 times again, or maybe just once, and going to give you the answers. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll begin. Question 1. Which character famously says, "Bub"?
Oh.
It's B-U-B.
Oh.
Bub.
Okay, I think I've got that one. I think I've got it. Yeah, okay, next one. Hit me
Cool.
up.
Question 2. In which show was there a venue called Carrot Toss? In which show was there a venue called Carrot Toss?
I like that. Carrot toss. Like, toss the carrot.
Yeah. Question 3. The third question. Which character says, "Make it so"?
Ooh.
That's 3 again. Which character says, "Make it so"?
That was beautiful.
Thanks. How are you finding this so far?
I think I've got the first 3 right. I hope everybody else at home has as well. Please play along with me. I need your support.
We didn't explain that if Owen gets all 5 answers correct, he gets to play the Final Fantasy VII victory theme.
Oh, I do. I need to. In fact, I've been so pessimistic about my quizzing abilities after losing miserably last week. Week before last. That, yeah, I haven't even queued it up.
Well, that's fine. You get to sing it if you win this week.
Oh. Okay, the pressure's on now.
Question 4. Which show features a race called the Jaffa?
Okay.
We can have a series of shows, if that's fair. Okay. And question 5. Translate this word into English.
Oh.
Kapla!
Oh.
Question 5 again. Translate this word into English. Kapla!
Oh dear. Oh, so close. I thought I'd had this. Okay, so here's the quiz theme again while you guys finish off writing down your answers. And then hopefully, if you've won and got every single one right, please tweet at us at Niche Radio.
Quiz! 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 Quiz!
Hi.
Hello. So how did you fare? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I reckon that last one's wrong. Yeah, the Kapla one. I don't think I've got that one. I think the other ones I'm safe on.
Okay.
But yeah, hit me up. Let's see if I'm right.
So if you're playing at home, please do tweet us if you get, well, whatever you get. If you get 1 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 16 out of 5, I think you'll be cheating if you get that, but I'm still happy to hear. Question 1. Which character famously says, bub?
Wolverine.
Excellent. 1 point.
Oh, sweet.
Give me an example of when he says bub.
After
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers, bub.
Yeah. I'd have a cheeseburger with fries, bub.
Question 2. In which show is there a venue called Carrot Toss?
It is in Angel, and Caritas is Latin for charity, I think.
Is it really? I didn't know the Latin bit. I know
yeah,
it was obviously from his home planet.
Yeah, and that's why it's meant to be a place where you can't start bar fights between demons.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Back and forwards knowledge for y'all.
Yeah, there you go. Get some knowledge up in your brains.
Question 3. Which character says, make it so?
Is it Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise?
It is.
Way.
He also says, I'm Charles Xavier. Would you like some breakfast? In a different character.
I think that's true. Does he say bub? I wonder if he's ever said bub. We should ask him.
Yes. Let's send him a message. Question 4. Which show features a race or series of shows called the Jafar?
Stargate.
It is Stargate.
Tick.
Tick, 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 boom.
I'm really not sure about this next one.
Question 5 seems to be the toughie. Translate the word Kapla. Now, first of all, where's it from?
It's from the language of Klingon, which is from their home planet Kronos. But
so you know all of this, but you can't translate it.
No, I can't translate it. Well, I don't think I can translate it literally, because I was told when I researched this for a quiz that it could be used in several contexts. So you could have like a Kapla, which is like greetings, like strong battles. I've written down strong battles because I thought it sounded like a literal interpretation, but it's probably not. But then it can be, isn't it just one of those things like kind of like cheers, or like huzzah, that you can kind of use as a day-to-day greeting, but you could also use it as a battle cry or as you're clinking your drink. But I don't think I've got it right.
I'm going to give you that.
Really?
It translates to success, and all of these can be you've just won a fight, success, or cheers, like wishing you success, or like hello is just a polite way of, in a war-orientated race, going to success. Like,
okay, sweet. So I do kind of get that from a roundabout explanation.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you that. Congratulations. Sing away.
So that means I get all 5 right. So I get to sing. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Congratulations to Owen, who got 5 out of 5 on this week's niche quiz.
I did. Thank you. I'd like to thank Most Peanut Butter.
Most deaf.
Most deaf, yeah, most nice. I'd like to thank the Connell for running the quiz. I'd like to thank Paul for having us on the show and in the studio in general. I'd like to thank Big Dog for being a big dog. I'd like to thank Teflon for the 2 boxes of Nerds, the retro American sweet, which I have been indulging in all day, making me somewhat hyper.
Right, Ian McElhinney.
Yeah.
Of course, thank him.
Yeah,
he's
of course.
He's our biggest fan.
He is, because welcome to the age of rad. We got him to say it. But I say we got him to say it. He said it voluntarily. So what's up next? We've got tons more up coming up for you on the show. But next up, we have the incredible, the amazing... Wait there a second. No, we don't. Sorry, I just realised that the bit I had queued up for you next isn't queued up at all. What is queued up is this.
Hey Owen, should we talk about a randomly selected actor of the week?
Alright. So, this week on Randomly Selected Actor of the Week, we have... Have a drum roll, please.
Who is it? Go.
It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Can you smell what? Etc. Etc. You know, and other things. He was the iconic wrestler as I was growing up, I suppose. Well, no, maybe later on, because I was only really aware of wrestling later on in my childhood, because I was never really into it.
In our early teens, it was all about The Rock.
Yeah, and lots of like, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? That was said.
What was The Rock cooking?
Well, I don't think we ever found out, unless he was cooking some pain for the opposition.
Ah, I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, today we want to tell you a little bit about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who has been involved in arguably a fair amount of little geeky bits and bobs. And seems like a bit of a legend. If anyone's seen him lip syncing a Taylor Swift song on Jimmy Kimmel recently, that was really good. I would watch it. Watching a guy who is, more of a built like a brick house, but he could probably beat up most houses made of bricks.
The question is, could he beat Chuck Norris? Probably not.
No, I doubt it. I mean, Chuck Norris is kind of a step above, but still, The Rock is, The Rock might be able to take a half a punch from him, maybe. Yeah.
Fair.
So we're very impressed with Dwayne The Rock Johnson for his miming along to Taylor Swift and for taking potentially half a punch from Chuck Norris. But also, there's many reasons to be impressed by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I found out. He was paid the highest ever wage for a first-time leading actor. Ever.
In what?
For his role in The Scorpion King, the mummy.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, so that was his first ever acting role. Well, at least Hollywood acting role, and he was paid $5.5 million as one of the lead actors, and that's the highest it's ever been paid to somebody who's just decided they're going to enter the acting, the acting world full time.
Fair play. He did well.
He did very well, yeah. And that was in 2002 for Scorpion King, which was a ridiculous film, I think. I enjoyed it, but
the whole Mummy franchise was a bit ridiculous. Like, it is what it is. It was tongue in cheek, and it was take the mick out of
Indiana
the
Jones.
generic English guy, the generic American, as if he had come over to help World War II effort sort of thing.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah, it was definitely like a cheesier Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, if you want to see a totally buff, ripped dude with the bottom half of a scorpion, then that's the place to go. And let's face it, sometimes I do feel like that.
Yeah.
So
We've
what
all
else?
been there.
Yeah, we have. So what else has Dwayne The Rock Johnson been up to? Well, in 2002, again, Warner Brothers acquired the rights for Johnny Bravo. Another one with the big quiffy hair and the
Man, I'm pretty.
Yeah, that's the one. And The Rock was in the running to play him.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. Talking of him playing stuff, very soon there have been talks of the new Big Trouble in Little China, like remake, rehash, redo, whatever, And there's rumours that he's going to be playing the new Jack Burton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. Teflon was credited today as saying that Jack Burton, you could kind of believe that he had this kind of machismo about him because he was probably beaten up at school quite a bit, so now he uses his words to get through these situations and a lot of bluster, whereas you just can't believe that with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I mean, who would beat him up without ruining their hands?
It's true.
Yeah.
A house?
Oh, yeah, I mean, some houses are pretty hard. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, fair dues. I mean, if you put The Rock against the house, I don't know, it depends on the house. Anyway, at 14, he was in a gang. Now, this is not something that we probably shouldn't bring up. It's probably quite mean. But, it's the flip side of his life. It's not all been success and roses. At 14, he was part of a gang in Waikiki, and which targeted wealthy tourists to make their cash. But he's come a long way. So apparently he just went out and started bodybuilding and getting buff as a way to work out of depression and find something to focus on that wasn't robbing wealthy tourists, which I think is much better. And
what
look where
an
he's got him.
inspiration.
Yeah. So if you're mugging tourists in Waikiki, get buff. That's what this show is all about. That's the message. Youngest WWE champion. That's him right there. In a nutshell. He wasn't in a nutshell. He was in a ring. That's where they fight. And he was 26. There we go. That's pretty young.
That is pretty young.
WWE champion. And one could argue that all wrestling is kind of acting, right? Could you argue that? Could you? I mean, okay, I'll ask you as a fellow person who knows very little, next to nothing about wrestling.
I know next to nothing about wrestling, but I've heard a lot of people say that, is it WWF now?
Oh, no, I think it's E now because F was the pandas.
Okay. It's pretty much just like a male soap opera.
Really?
It's all acting, it's all over the top.
Oh. Well, that still sounds fun, I'm up for that. I mean, other things that he's
Also,
achieved.
I know that you're not allowed to spear people anymore.
You're not, no, the Edge put a stop to that. I mean, he woke up one day and on that day he saw clearly that spearing was no longer the way.
I didn't like it. I mean, before that I thought I knew him.
Oh. So what else has The Rock done? I mean, he's probably fought Edge a few times, probably. One would hope.
What about The Undertaker?
Oh, one would hope he'd fought him as well. Who hasn't fought The Undertaker? He's all old and scary and stuff, right? Did you know that he, in fact, coined the phrase SmackDown?
Really?
Yeah, SmackDown apparently wasn't a word until 1997 when he first used it as like, I'm going to lay the SmackDown on you. I don't know why it suddenly turned into a stupid accent. But that, SmackDown, is now an official word according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
At one word?
Yeah, as one word, I'm going to come and lay the fluffing SmackDown on you.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, an actual word. Also, he played... Tying into geeky sci-fi stuff again, he played the Pendari champion in an episode of Star Trek Voyager where he fought 7 of 9 and won. And he had some crinkly stuff on his forehead and was buff then. So that was when they were doing Star Trek Voyager, so some time ago. And he defeated 7 of 9, and she's pretty hardcore. I mean, she's Borg and really, really hot.
She is really hot.
Yeah, like, wow. Good work.
That would have been fun.
Good work growing that everything, you. He played his own father in that 70s show. All in all, well done there, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Should you give him a round of applause?
This is a round of applause for The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
This is me smacking down
That was a
my
good.
hands together.
That was a good smackdown applause.
Thanks.
Yeah. So it's funny, isn't it, how kind of wrestling is kind of lumped in with geeky stuff? Because it's strange, because we sell wrestling stuff in Forbidden Planet.
I noticed today there was a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, next to reduced section it wasn't reduced, so it must be more popular than things like Axe Cop,
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
or at least more up to date, I suppose.
It is very popular.
Why does it get lumped in with? Why do people?
I suppose is it an interest that young males are typically known for liking? Is that what it is? Because I mean, I wouldn't argue this personally, but it has been argued popularly that kind of all the geeky stuff in general, sci-fi, fantasy, manga, UFC, fighting, it's all kind of like boys and their toys kind of thing.
But you wouldn't sell footballs in Forbidden Planet, would you?
No, that's true.
I wonder why.
It is curious, isn't it?
Like a Fab Cafe play the wrestling. They play WrestleMania every year.
Yeah, they do.
They play whenever there's something big on in wrestling, they play it there,
But they also do geeky stuff,
and they draw a crowd.
It's strange how much crossover there is there.
This has to be a question for a future episode. And again, if anyone knows of any correlation why this is the case, please do get in touch, because I don't know, and I'd be very curious.
We need to interview a wrestling fan.
There's Sunday Falsies, aren't there? The station's wrestling show. We should maybe do an interview with them, find out what we have in common.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Or maybe we should post a quiz to any of the people on Geek Night, not Geek Night, Niche Nights.
Yeah,
about
that's
wrestling.
a good idea. Yeah, I am intrigued by that. So, okay, just bear with me here. What if the world was like in a manga and stuff, right?
What if Wolverine's bones were made of chocolate?
What if Doctor Who used his powers to evil?
Oh, what if the Simpsons were all topless?
What if Bruce Banner never went to school?
What if... Shut up! Niche Radio tells you what if.
So, what if? This week, we will be discussing what if manga was real. Now, I get a bit freaked out by manga.
Because it's incredibly different to real life.
Yeah, it is. But then a lot of stuff I enjoy is incredibly different to real life. I think I get a bit of culture shock with manga because I'm just not really used to its conventions, its intricacies, and I just don't get it. I think that's what it boils down to. So, what I've done is I've printed off some synopses from various mangas. I picked ones with crazy, stupid names because why not? And yeah, so we're going to read them out, and we're just going to spitball. We're just going to get spitballing here. A couple of ideas, just roll it around our mouths a little bit, like a fine Chianti. And yeah, we're going to figure out what would happen if these were real, or how we'd react.
What do we do in these situations?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, this one, Crazy Girl Shin Bia, is maybe how it's pronounced. But yes, the synopsis for this, I pulled off a random internet site, which is a bit crazy, and it's kind of in English. So, tough, lazy, money lover, yet beautiful high school student named Shinbia. While she's thinking about the eras, she suddenly falls into that ancient time period. She had to transform into an elegant lady, and while she's there, she faces quite an obstacle. That's all we get to know about Crazy Girl Shinbia. Now, what are you gleaning from that?
It's fairly similar to a lot of English shows you'd watch. Pretty much just how can we educate kids about parts of history? Let's push them into it. There was a show called Vikings, and before that there was a show, I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically the same idea, where a team of explorers went back. Well, they found a wormhole, and they thought, let's jump in it, as you do. Turns out it took them back to the dinosaur era, and they all got stuck there. Someone found one back, and they were trying to steal wood and stuff to sell in the future to make money randomly. The idea was the second series was going to be like Vikings, and after that it would be and it would progress through history until they came back, but also taught you about history. It's a great idea. It's a good way for kids to be interested in what a character's doing whilst learning about.
Yeah. Okay, but why? I mean, why would she? Okay, what I don't understand though. I mean, okay, she'll think about an era, and she suddenly falls into that ancient time period. Okay, it doesn't really specify what time period, but I imagine different ones for each volume. Okay.
I'd hope.
So, why would she transform into an elegant lady? Maybe she's gone into like Jane Austen times. Period drama time. Okay, well, moving on.
I like that one. I'd read that one.
Yeah, okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, so Girls und Panzer.
Say that again?
Girls und Panzer.
This is a German?
Well, it's Japanese, but it's called, translated as Girls and Panzer are tanks. So Girls and Tanks. Which, that's appealing. If on the strength of the name alone, I'd read it. This story takes place in a universe where historical World War II era tanks are maintained for sports warfare competitions, and large carrier ships known as academy ships support mobile sea communities. Sorry, it's the first time I read this. It's cracking me up. Of the many activities high school girls it had to be high school girls, didn't it? Can participate in. One of the most popular is Sensha Do, which literally translates as the way of the tank. Okay, the art of operating tanks, which is considered a traditional martial art. Okay, so like these schoolgirls might go to jiu-jitsu after class, maybe for fun or for self-defense, I
Instead,
suppose.
they go
either
and
way.
ride tanks,
Yeah,
like the biker mice from Mars.
in tanks and being schoolgirls. Yes, exactly like that.
Again, I would read that.
Yeah. I'm interested in how they consider it a traditional martial art. Because, okay, I mean, traditional martial arts can have weapons. Traditionally, maybe some nunchucks or a stick.
How old does something have to be called traditional?
Yeah. And also, if it is a martial art, surely it should be quite easy, something that's quite easy to do, like, in any kind of combat situation. So, if you didn't have your tank handy, what would you do? You get mugged, you're starting to get mugged, there's 6 people closing in on you, you're like, you have to have like some sort of like code, so it would just turn up like the Batmobile, like, oh, it's my faithful tanky.
Like pressing A in Streets of Rage.
Yes, yeah. See, the more okay, I'm definitely going to read that. All right, so let's try the next one. Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
A wonderful name. I'm surprised I've not read it.
Yeah. Yuhi, a college student, wakes up one morning to find a talking lizard informing him that the world is in great danger. A mage is plotting to destroy it with the Biscuit Hammer, a gigantic mallet floating in space, preparing to fall and smash the planet. Should we do this in an epic film voice?
Yes.
Okay. To stop this, he must join forces with the other knights and protect the princess who stands in the way of the mage's plot. Unfortunately for the lizard, Yuhi is a different accent. I'll get bored of that one.
Too Irish.
Unfortunately for the lizard, Yuhi is a bit of a misanthrope and wants no part in saving the world. But he is interested in saving the this is going Scottish. That's fine. Interested in serving the princess, especially when she announces that she only wants to save the world so she can destroy it herself. Not sure what accent that was, but you got the gist.
Well, no, I didn't. I'm already confused. What is that story?
Okay, so Yuhi. It's easy. Yuhi, talking lizard, talks to Yuhi and says, mate, the world's in great danger because there's a mage who wants to destroy it, and there's a princess kicking about as well.
Is the mage in space with the giant hammer made out of biscuits?
Yeah, I think, and I quote, a gigantic mallet floating in space, preparing to fall and smash the planet. So he's got to join forces with the other knights, right, and foil the mage's plot. But this lead character Yuhi is not really interested in that. He just kind of wants to, I guess, romantically become involved with the princess, who also wants to destroy the world. So either way, world destruction is nigh.
Is it?
What would happen if that was the real world? Okay, so we find a talking lizard turns up to us tomorrow and says, "You're right, mate. I'm a lizard. The world is going to end pretty soon. We are in great danger because of this massive biscuit hammer." And we say, "What's a biscuit hammer, mate?"
I would be fine with that. My first question would be, is it like a big... Is it a comet shaped like a hammer, or is it something even bigger, holding a hammer, ready to smash the earth? Because then you get an understanding of your priorities in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, and how far away is the hammer as well? Because if it was just a massive floating hammer, then unless it was anywhere near, like the kind of the Earth's atmosphere, the gravitational pull wouldn't put it down to smash us. It would just float about, and it would be essentially harmless. I think we need. Well, I mean, obviously, the first thing we'd have to do. I mean, do you agree with this? Is that we'd have to ask the lizard a few questions about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then what? So he says, okay, he doesn't know much about it.
How does he know?
He's been told by a very reliable source, his mate Jeff, who said, "Look, mate, world's going to end."
Who's Jeff?
I mean, he knows it for almost a fact. So we've got to take his word for it, right? Because if we don't, then the world might get destroyed by this gigantic biscuit hammer. I mean, come on, man.
I want to go back in time and learn everyone who knew about it, so I can find out how they knew, which should hopefully lead to a clue about the villain or danger.
Okay, yeah, that's a sound strategy. I'm with you on that. I mean, if you need my sword, you have it. We will together. We will wield. That's hard to say. We will wield. We will wield this Lucifer's biscuit hammer, and together we shall smite those who threaten Earth.
What type of biscuit is it?
I don't know. I hope a hobnob.
Is it a Milner cake?
Oh, mate, a Mjolnir cake. Now, that would be cool. We had one of those at the first Geek Night. A big props to Ellie O'Malley, who made it for us. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Or could it be Asgard coming down?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if it was an Asgardian hammer, I'd be happy to be smashed, smited, or smote by that.
Maybe Biscuit is the name of a race from space.
Maybe. The lizard's just a bit of a lying prick.
Maybe the lizard's lying. Maybe you're tripping balls.
Yeah, well, it's not I mean, it's been a while since I let it talk to me. I'd be skeptical that it was actually talking to me in the first place.
I reckon I've got a decent understanding of what's going on. If
So
it started speaking to me, I'll just accept it.
Yeah, okay.
That's logic.
Yeah, that's pretty logical logic. So, so all in all, if the world suddenly turns into Manga, we're all right. Yeah?
Things will be a lot more pointy.
Yeah, and I'd probably do peace signs a lot more often.
My hair would be... I wouldn't like my hair if I was in Manga.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a lot bigger, a lot spikier. I'd probably look a lot more effeminate, which
Yeah, you really would.
It's kind of difficult, to be honest, but...
You look a bit more like the guy from
Hot.
Treasure Island.
Or Guybrush Threepwood from Monkey Island.
That's what I meant, Monkey Island.
Yeah. Well, how about we thank everybody for tuning in to Niche Radio, and we just wanted to say a big hello from us and Fab Radio International in general. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're listening to us every Wednesday from 6 until 7. If you want to listen again, subscribe to our YouTube channel Niche Radio or follow us on Twitter at Niche Radio. Coming up next, we have tons of fun for you. If you're just tuning in, you've missed out on all the new merch and comics coming out, and what would happen if the world turned into Manga. Also, our update of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and much, much, much more.
Geek Scene, what's happening locally and geekily.
So, what is happening locally and geekily?
We're changing our show a bit.
We are.
So next week will be our 1 year anniversary of doing the show. Lovely.
Yay!
Be a nice time we should celebrate by bringing biscuits in.
Oh, nice.
I'll get the bourbons if you get the brews.
And I'll bring the hammer.
I'll bring the pain.
Sick.
Smack down
Oh,
upon
yeah.
you. But yeah, next week's show is going to be our anniversary. I'm quite pleased. So we're changing it around. Or rather just upgrading it a bit. Refreshing it. So next week things will be a bit different. Please tune in and have a think. We would love. We're going to be putting up some questions throughout the week. For example, who would win in a fight? You get to choose. What if you can think of one, we'll be talking about it next week. So, yeah.
If you have any suggestions, please get in touch on our Twitter at Niche Radio, or if you'd like, we are on Facebook as well, which is Niche Night. Yeah, there's been tons of stuff though this week. Tons of stuff. Our geek scene is overflowing. It's brimming with new stuff. Like, there's a new Ant-Man TV spot, which is, the extended kind of trailer for television, hence the name. Just in case anyone was unclear on that. Glad we sorted that out. Cheers. See you later. Hello. Yeah, so the new Ant-Man TV spot is out, and the film Ant-Man by Marvel will be released on the 17th of July, which is ace. I'm thoroughly looking forward to that. I can see it being a bit like Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of like a light-hearted approach.
That's my thoughts on it. I don't think I'm going to like it.
Well, we're going to have to watch and see if the proof will be in the pudding.
It's true. No, like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy was a bit too tongue-in-cheek for my liking.
Okay.
It was not what I'd been hoping for and waiting for. So I've already decided I think Ant-Man's going to be the same, and I might just not watch it.
Yeah, fair enough. It's one of those, like, because Guardians and Ant-Man are both titles that I hadn't really read very much before. I mean, I was aware of them, aware of the characters, I was aware of Ant-Man more than Guardians, to be honest. But, yeah, I'm sure it'll be lovely. I'm going to go see it and just find out. Although I've only just seen Avengers, which I thought was great. And also...
You finally watched it. What did you think?
Well, I do... You posed me a question last week about Joss Whedon, asking me if over the years I thought he'd lost it. And well, here's my answer to you. No, he's not lost it.
What did you think of Avengers 2 in comparison with Avengers 1 and in comparison with S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything which precursored it?
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. It did what it was meant to. It introduced a couple of new characters. I mean, if I would have preferred it if they had maybe given them more introduction, because he kind of just left with here's these guys, this is kind of what they do, and a bit of backstory, and that's kind of all you need.
But here's something we talked about Joss Whedon before. He is the perfect writer for really bringing you into each character as an individual and why you like them and why you understand those two's relationship as opposed to those two's, but also theirs and why they interact together. There was none of that in Avengers 2. It was very formulaic. It was I'm focused on this very expensive shot looking amazing, and
And the jokes.
Knob jokes, like crap jokes. Just any like generic joke which is like, oh, we finished the scene now, I'll say the generic thing, so next scene.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was fan servicing though, and isn't that a good thing? Like a lot of those jokes. I mean, I thought Thor had all the best lines myself.
Yeah.
Tony today did argue with me and said that he thought Hawkeye had some of the better ones, which is agreed. He has some great ones. Yeah, I mean,
but I don't want to be serviced as a fan. I want to be a fan of something which I am impressed with.
Well, yeah, but then I mean that's interesting because I kind of like the cheap payoff of, you know, at the end he says Avengers ... doesn't quite say assemble, but it's implied. You get all the kind of hammer jokes at the beginning with Captain America almost kind of been able to
That
move
was
it a
awesome.
little bit.
That was my favourite scene of the whole film.
You get the bit of Vision handing him his hammer, which I'm still unhappy about because the Vision is not worthy to pick up Mjolnir. That should have been retconned straight away. But yeah, I think as a whole, it was a summer blockbuster. It's, you know, it's not meant to be that thought provoking. It involved you a bit more into the Avengers world. For people who just watched the first film and nothing else, had no other background knowledge, it gave you what you needed to kind of get into this next wave of characters.
I see what you mean. I just
Entertaining.
don't like to think of Joss Whedon as a blockbuster director.
Well, that's it. But what else is he going to do? He literally, I don't think, could have done any better.
No, I fully agree.
I think he would be under huge constraints from Marvel and the comic fans saying that we need it to be this way. You can't, you know, change too many of the really important details.
Yeah.
And then also under the influence from the studio as well, saying, well, we need to sell this many. So
The next
people
5-6
like this,
years
that, and the other.
Marvel is probably tied up. Like,
Yeah.
he would have had little choice for direction.
Yeah, probably have
And-
more choice for the first film, to be honest, because that was what kind of started the ball rolling for the Marvel universe with all these kind of stages or phases.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Joss Whedon's lost it at all. If anything, I think he's done very well to juggle the ideas that I presume are flying in from him from all sides, from, you know, the fans and the kind of bigwigs that you know, pay the checks.
I'm very curious to now to see if he reverts back into old Joss Whedon and puts out something very independent.
He said as much. Yeah, when he after during the filming of Avengers, I think before post production, he had a little while off and famously filmed and did Much Ado About Nothing, which was an independent film he put out on his own studio, Bellwether Pictures, and they've done one since then of another film called In Your Eyes, which was a brilliant independent love story romance, and that was fairly recently. I think it was him and maybe David Greenwald. I might have to check.
It's a very beautiful film.
Yeah,
Good story.
Yeah,
Good idea.
Brilliant. And so I don't think he has lost it because that was released fairly recently on the grand scheme of things, and his work with Shield has been great. So, and that's kind of been a bridge between blockbuster, you know, bigwigs telling him that he has to do this so it can fit into the Inhumans 25 years down the line, but also, you know, he gets to really take care of his characters. So that's what I think. But yeah, there's been tons of other stuff for Geek Scene. There's also loads of news about Ash versus the Evil Dead, trailers coming soon. Also Batman the Arkham Knight, which everyone's very excited about, with extra playable characters: Nightwing, Harley Quinn, Red Hood, Batgirl and Catwoman. And also watched Kung Fury the other day. We don't have enough time to talk about it, but everyone Google Kung Fury and watch the little film that's on there. It's absolutely incredible. Next week we'll be talking about the Comic-Con season, which is in full swing. Also, maybe we'll be mentioning Mastodon and their appearance on Game of Thrones recently. And much, much more. Also, Marvel Cinematic Universe website has given details on the use of PIM particles and how they fit into the Marvel science as a whole.